nominated for Fighting Game of the Year, but the question is, should Sparking Zero win that award? I have pulled up a discussion from a Reddit thread talking about the biggest reasons why Sparking Zero would not win the Game of the Year. And today we're gonna read those comments and I'm gonna give my thoughts. Only comp is Tekken 8. A re-release shouldn't win and Multiverse is not up there. I should probably show y'all the nominations for Game of the Year, huh? Here are the nominations for Fighting Game of the Year. And from my extensive research on the web,
it was about 30 minutes.
The general consensus was the Fighting Game of the Year was either gonna be Sparking Zero or Tekken 8. So Mr. 360 is kind of saying what everybody's thinking in the community. Too many people took this game for what it wasn't, and so they felt it didn't deliver. This is kind of a point I made on my previous video describing how Sparking Zero has an unbalanced nature to the game, and how the competitive scene online is very frustrating to be a part of considering how unbalanced the game is. However, considering how this game is a continuation of the Budokai Tenkaichi series, it should be unbalanced because that's how the games were in the past. They actually didn't finish the game. I really want to make the argument that the game isn't as rushed as people were trying to say. I think the game has a lot of unexpected bugs that needs to be fixed still to this day. I remember playing the game on release, I was very happy with the game. The only thing I was unhappy with was the connection issues on the Xbox and PC specifically. The fact that some of us can't play online because of communication errors. That is not worthy of Game of the Year. I'm not gonna lie, that's a really good point. I've made two separate videos about two huge issues on Sparking Zero's online connection. And one could argue because of these connections, it shouldn't win Fighting Game of the Year. However, on release, Tekken 8 also had its own connection issues. So to say Sparking Zero shouldn't win Fighting Game of the Year because of their online connection issues, one could say the same thing about Tekken 8 on release. Control bugs, next to zero single player content, just overall a worse package than the previous game. I would have to disagree with most of the things he just said. I will say there was some huge control issues that a lot of people experienced, but on the most recent patch they had a few weeks ago, it fixed most of the control bugs, specifically for the super counters, because I know that was a huge issue. Now, next to zero single player content, I would disagree because I know a lot of people online and in person that loves the single player aspect of the game. Now, I do say I wish there was a little bit more options to the single player like campaign mode. I feel like there should be a little bit more what if scenarios, but the what if scenarios that we have are very cool. And I do think the custom battles need a little bit of a revamp. It's kind of a hard process to do, but there's a lot of innovative and new single player elements in this specific game, so I'll have to disagree with the single player comment. And do I think Sparking Zero is worse than Budokai Tenkaichi 3? I don't really have a full opinion on that yet, but I would disagree with you for saying that Sparking Zero is way worse than Budokai Tenkaichi 3 because I don't think that's the case. I love this game, but no way it wins against Tekken and Marvel vs. Capcom. On a side note, who the f cares about multiverses? Honestly, I'm trying to figure that out now. I don't know how it got nominated, but I will say Marvel vs. Capcom I really don't think should win. Why is everybody hating on the game recently? A lot of people think Sparking Zero is dying. In fact, I made a whole entire video describing this topic that I'll leave at the end of this video. Spoiler alert, I don't think it's dead. I explained more in that video. The fact that there's a bug where your save data can get corrupted would probably deter people from playing once they find out about it or experience it. I don't know anybody who dealt with this problem personally, but I heard a lot of people online, specifically in my TikTok comments, dealing with this. I'm not gonna lie, that's crazy. That should be fixed. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why this isn't fixed yet. So that's a really good point, but if you have something more you want to add on it, or if you want me to make a video about it, leave it in the comments down below. I mean, I love this game, but you can't deny that it's objectively only a 7 out of 10, and I'm very generous with this rating. For a neutral player, the game has too many flaws. I think objectively, that's a very good comment to make. I think to a lot of people, me included, who are Dragon Ball Z fans, and maybe even Budokai Tenkaichi fans, they want this game to win. However, considering the bugs, considering the problem, considering the game as a fighting game as a whole, does it warrant Game of the Year? Now, I also asked two different communities on Twitter, one being the Sparking Zero community and one being the RDC community, who do they think will win Fighting Game of the Year compared to Sparking Zero or Tekken 8? Now, of course, the Sparking Zero community thinks Sparking Zero should win, but the RDC community thinks Tekken 8 should win with the Ghost I've received, which is also kind of interesting because I know RDC played a lot of Tekken 8, so there might be bias on both sides. So that about wraps up this video. Make sure you comment down below who you think should win Fighting Game of the Year. If you're someone like this comment right here and is wondering why there is so much hate to Sparking Zero right now, I made a video who answered the question, is Sparking Zero dying? I'm gonna put that video right here and meet you over there. I've officially made a decision to be more consistent on YouTube and make longer form videos instead of just YouTube shorts. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications to not miss my next video. Also, comment on this post right here to tell me what videos you wish to see from me in the future. Make sure to hit that like button. Until next time, stay tuned.
She try to fuck with a road and I told her it's cool just as long as you bring me your pile. I get to the root of the problem, but I ain't a dentist who's doing the fucking canals. Y'all niggas do miles of running and scare me yourself, so that can't be so good for morale. I talked to my folks and they told me you gotta be great, and I told them I already shot.